Hi, I'm Kerry. I'm the host of Best of Us Investors. We have a tribe. At our Discord, we have a collection of about 4,000, 5,000 people who exchange ideas, and we call ourselves a tribe. And this is the latest book I wrote, The Power of the Tribe, in conjunction with Colin George. And in that book, we explain how the tribe works, what our investment theory is, and our strategies. And we even have some interviews with some of the people in the tribe that explain how it's changed their investing and how it's changed their life for a positive. So we had an incident that happened just in the last several days that I think really illustrates the power of the tribe and how we are working together rather than as individuals and collectively trying to achieve three things. One, make better investment decisions. Two, learn to keep more of what we make by understanding the tax code. And three, having a goal, and that is to accumulate family wealth. The government allows us to, as a couple, to pass on just under $24 million to our heirs. So let's set it as a goal and see if we can't achieve it. So that's what the tribe's all about. What I want to tell you about is what happened this last week and how I wouldn't have known about this if it wasn't for Gabe, who gave me a call and cued me into something that is happening to a very small company, a $600 million company, that could turn it into a multi-billion dollar company. And it's going to happen in the next week, possibly, and you need to know about it. So this is the tribe. This is how it works. And this is really exciting. So stick with me.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
So Gabe, as I said, a very active member in the tribe, called me on Monday, and he said, Kerry, you need to look into a stock by the name of NetList. It's involved in a lawsuit against Google for Google's violation of patents. Now, I've heard of this before. This isn't the first time Google has been accused of doing something wrong and gone to trial and basically got it dismissed. But he said, Kerry, you need to look into this deeper. And I think you're going to find something. It's a $600 million company suing a $1.7 trillion company for a violation of a patent. So I dug into it. Let me give you the chronology, the time frame, the time clock as I see it. Lawsuit started in 2009. And then basically what it said is that NetList had a chip and had a patent on this chip that allowed search to gather more and perform better. And it is claiming, NetList is claiming that Google looked at that patent, stole that patent, and this is what Google has differentiated itself from all other search engines as a result of this patent that actually belongs to NetList. That was in 2009. It is a 912 memory module. Now, those people who have studied this call it a seminal case, meaning that it is huge and meaning that it is influential and very original and has tremendous ramifications. This, according to those who have looked at it, this technology that NetList has a patent on is what Google is built on and differentiates it from the other growth engines. And as a result of Google using this, they have grown to a $1.7 trillion company on the back of this patent. So in 2009, the litigation started. And Google basically in 2010 asked for a review of the patent by the patent board or the patent issuers, the federal government, and had it to have it looked at. 9 years later, it took from 2010 to 2019, the patent office upheld NetList's claim. So in January of 2019, the patent company said, yes, Google is in violation of the patent laws, and they are using NetList's patented chip without paying them anything for it, and it is in violation of the patent laws. Google then appealed to the appellate federal court in April of 2019. In June of 2020, the U.S. court upheld the NetList charges, and Google then in June of 2020 asked for a stay. Let's sit on this and let's do nothing because of COVID-19. That was in June of 2020. In February, NetList appealed to the court and said, remove the stay, and it was granted. In other words, the court said, we're through the pandemic, we need to make a decision on this, the stay is lifted, and ordered them in March for the lawyers from Google and NetList to sit down and have a video call and come to a settlement. That was in March. Nothing has happened. So the court has come forward and said on July 6th, we will start a jury trial to settle this once and for all. That's next week. Okay? As this has all happened, NetList has gone about their business, participated, and is selling product and moving forward. But next week, this is going to be settled. So last Friday, a week ago yesterday, the stock got news, the market got news of this through Reddits. If you can Google NetList versus Google, and you won't find anything about it. You won't find anything about it on Microsoft's search engine or Firefox or anything. There's just nothing out there. So where you do find it is on Reddit. And on Reddit, you will find actual pictures of the filing documents. So what I'm telling you is if you go to Seeking Alpha or Yahoo Finance, you aren't going to find a whole lot about this. You'll find that they also had cases against some smaller companies, some Korea companies, and they were awarded some damages from them, but nothing to the size of Google. So we are today. I've done some research, and I found that they did get a settlement from SK Hynix. They did get a settlement from Inphi, and they are doing business actively for the last 20 years with Dell, with HP, with Apple, in this high-end memory chip. Their CEO is a guy by the name of Chuck Hong. I have seen him interviewed. He doesn't really talk about it. He talks about how their business is progressing, and they really don't talk about it. They were kicked off of the NASDAQ market about a year ago because their stock price was so low that the NASDAQ said you need to do a reverse split to bring up the price of your stock. And Chuck Hong said, no, I won't do that. That isn't fair to my stockholders, and it will dilute the values of the shares. So he didn't do that. So here we are. We're entering next week, July the 6th, the jury trial is scheduled to start. I assume at that point they will start choosing jurors. And what I feel very, very confident is Google does not want to go to trial. You have a $634 million company who the courts have said have been abused and stolen from by a $1.7 trillion company. This is David against Goliath. And they don't want to go into court where they will be most likely found guilty of damages. And I don't know how you figure what the damages are. I guess you say that if Google had acted in good faith and said, we want to license the use of your chip for the last 30 years and pay you for that, they will come up with a number and say, that's what they would have charged. This is how it would have escalated over the years. And this is what NetList would have received. But then when you get into court, you face punitive damages. And that is where the court says, okay, not only are you liable for what you should have paid them but didn't, plus interest, but we're going to 3x that, 7x that to punish you, Google, so you don't ever do anything like this again. And that's how the court works. So my take on this, and that could take years, my take on that is that sometime in the next 90 days, Google's going to write a big check. And so with that in mind, I've put $10,000 of my hard-earned money into this. I put it in on last Tuesday, and the stock has gone up. Partly because I shared with my tribe on last Tuesday that this is what I was going to do. We're a tribe. We work together. We work to help each other make good investment decisions. We share information within our village. That's our Discord. And this is an example of how a tribe can work. This is Gabe doing some research, calling me up on Monday while I was in my car and having a 30-minute conversation, giving me about 24 hours to look into it, calling me back and saying, I've got some additional information that I want to share with you, me doing my research, and me making a move. So that's how a tribe works. That's the power of a tribe. This book, you can read it. It's in the description. It's available on Amazon. And we've got something going. As I told the tribe, we just crossed a major bridge. We just took ourselves from a bunch of individuals trying to beat the hedge funds, trying to beat the quantum computers, and finding something so small and insignificant that Seeking Alpha, Yahoo Finance, Brown, none of them have come forward and said, this is an opportunity. Now, is this a normal type of investment? No. Would I normally do this? No. I don't really like the idea. I don't like the idea of somebody using something and not paying for it. And I don't really like the idea of courts settling issues. But at the same time, I love the idea that Gabe called me, brought this to my attention. I never would have come across it without his information. And what I'm saying to you, I'm reaching out and saying, come join us. Go to bestofusinvestors.com. Give me your email address. Give me your name, and I'll send you an invitation to join our tribe, to come to our village and share in this kind of mutual beneficial information. We've crossed that bridge. We're going to start flexing our muscles. Come be a part of it.